Hi, welcome to the next edition of Watching the Standard Meta. So today we have 4 decks to talk about, plus a very bad meta. So let's go ahead and dive straight into that. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's go ahead and get there together and let's dive straight in. So Cauldron still increasing for some strange reason. This deck was left unchecked. Like I said last week, VV should have left. I'm sorry, the card is just too busted. As a whatever. Like it's absolutely more insane under Cauldron. So yeah, the fact that this was able to stay in the current format is insane. We have Demir mid range. Still picking one more slack. Probably has an okay matchup between these two fighting each other. Pixie coming right back. I called it when they announced the ban restriction announcement. I was like, you're not gonna keep the Pixie deck down. Like the self bounce decks will come back with a vengeance, and here they are. We have Azorius Control picking up a little bit of slack, and Gruul Aggro picking up a good slack. I'm assuming Mono Green counters is Landfall, because I've seen quite a bit of Landfall, but besides that, like, not a lot here to talk about. This meta is probably worse than it was previously. Uh, you could argue that. I mean, Cauldron, I think, is just a worse deck to face. Then again, Cutter is pretty obnoxious. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I guess we're in the is it standard meta. And the saddest part is, I think they only ban things once a year. So the fact that we've already passed the banning window is just great. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this current meta. Do you guys like it? Is it good? Because honestly, this is not making me want to come and play standard. There's not a lot here, but I do have 4 decks to talk about that are not represented. Probably they're all in this rogue category. But nonetheless, they are kind of sweet. Let's dive straight into those. So there's this Simic mid-range pile with Schooner, a little bit of Surrock. I don't know why I can't read this card, but 3 copies of this guy as well. We have some elves, 4 copies, a couple patchies, a paw pack, Sentinel Nameless Cities, some sirens. It's a curiosity based deck with a little bit of bristly bill for counter strategies, Drowner for the tempo play. Pretty solid deck as a whole. It's like, yeah, it's definitely I would say it's not really mid-range, but it's more Simic tempo. Sideboard, we have Unable to Scream to deal with threats that may be a little bit difficult for a tempo deck to deal with. We have a couple copies of this. I believe this is a counter spell. Pretty reasonable card there. We have against heavy removal attacks, we bring another Surrock in, so that way they target our threats. We draw an additional card. Ooze for Graveyard Hate, Tidebinder to counter Atroxus. Actually, no, Atroxus should be rotated. Yeah, it's the first week since rotation, which is pretty awesome. The Tidebinder, interesting card, definitely good. I'm trying to think. I guess if you could somehow get rid of the ability of VV, I guess like that's. Then you have Reclamation, good against V. Is it Cauldron? Destroy then Cauldron, or potentially just removing a graveyard piece. So Ooze in this is overcompensating for that matchup. Makes sense. It's the most played deck in the format. So you have 5 sideboard slots dedicated to that matchup. Pretty sad time to be alive. But we have 3 more decks to maybe will make you feel a little bit more interested and excited. So we do have Temer Storm Splitter combo with the Vitality. Questing Druids. We have the brand new Consult the Star charts. We have Into the Flood Maw. We have some Analyze the Pollens. A couple copies of the Regent. 4 ops, 4 sliding hands, 4 talents, 4 torch towers, 4 stock ups, 3 fire magics for aggro, an additional Into the Flood Maw in case we need to bounce a problematic non-creature type. Ghost Vacuum for Graveyard Hate, Reclamation for Graveyard Hate slightly, and probably Cauldron Hate, Negate Pretty good against control, stuff like that. Row, in case we expect a lot of hate that goes against our combo, we have an alternative way to win the game. Formation, enchantment hate, flying hate. Pretty much that's about it. Obliterating bolt. It's not a bad card to have. 4 damage or something. Exile it. And then we have the Twin Maw. So this is also additional removal. It's basically a roast. But weirdly enough, we don't have any sort of white mana. I'm not sure about that. Like, I kind of think you want to trim one of your basics for a white source or 2, or even a starting town, just so you can tap for white in case you want to hard cast this out of the sideboard. But you may not think that's worth it. Either way, I guess it's just a 5-drop roast, which isn't bad either. I have 2 more decks. Let's get into those. So, Teamer Landfall. The blue is strictly in the sideboard where you could bring in the 1 of Island and 4 copies of the Assault. It's a pretty spicy include. As a top end, sweep the board. Against aggro decks, that's probably pretty efficient, right? Because you're just going to trade. In late game, you're just going to make a bunch of dragons to close it out. Fable Passage, we have Explorer down here, which allows us to play our lands from our graveyard. Rage to get stuff back from the graveyard. Protect our threats. We have a Chocobo plus another Chocobo, which really helps energize with Landfall. We have Elves, pretty good card there for turn 2. For that way we can have a turn 2 Hydra. Titania Lockhart, Tifa Lockhart, which is a pretty good card. It doubles its power, even especially more powerful with Bristling Bill, getting the counters and then doubling is even more powerful. Again, this deck is playing the Mutation, which allows you to put counters on something. More Explorers in case we need, I guess, a grindy matchup. I guess that would be more for the Assault matchup. It's a 2/4 body, not terrible. And it allows you to ramp up, and then we can get to this Assault that doesn't kill our Explorers. We have Lizard, and this is kind of weird since Standard doesn't really have the kind of effects like Cutter anymore. But this is mainly seen, I've known play in Pioneer for. Is it Phoenix? But it's kind of interesting that's in Standard. We also have, like I said, 1 Island, 3 Assaults for aggro, and 3 copies of Impact, which allows us to pop some artifacts and enchantments. Pretty good, like I said, into exactly Cauldron. So that's a good effect to have. We have 1 more deck to talk about, which I think is totally different. So I wanted to put all the green and blue decks together. Let's talk about different color combo. So last is this Orzhov Aristocrats. So we have 4 copies of Sephiroth from the last set, 4 copies of Voice. So at the end of the turn, we can sack the tokens that are made by that. Blood Witch plus the brand new Zealot. It's a free sack outlet. Pretty good card to have. Plus the brand new card, Sire, which gets really big every time something dies. We have Gorehound as a pretty solid way of just surveilling every time a little token EDBs. So this into the Voice of Victory is Surveil 2, which is really good. Nesting Bot for aggression. And then we have Sage, which dies, makes a 1/1 bat or insect. So that's pretty good as well. So that when we sack this, we get another token to sack to keep the stuff going. We have Raise the Pass. Pretty good, solid effect. 1 Bartolome. And then we have 1 Forsaken Miner and 1 Enduring Innocence for card draw. Couple Duress in the board for control, stuff like that. Raid, pretty good card for artifact enchantment hate, plus could pump our team. Ghost Vacuum for graveyard hate. Bat for control mid-range. Commando for artifact enchantment hate. Get Lost for mainly probably planeswalker hate. Also enchantment and good creature hate. And that's all I have to talk about today for Standard. Let me know in the comment section which one of these decks is your favorite, and I'll talk to you guys next week.